Judging a book by its cover. Have you ever judged a book by its cover? Have you ever been judged with that snap judgment, a book by its cover kind of vibe? Well, I'm here to tell you that I've been on the giving and receiving end of judging books by their cover, and I'm here to tell you, not exactly the wisest decision on my part. I want to share a story with you guys because I think it's an interesting thing, because we all make snap judgments. We don't even really think about it. It just kind of happens. And you might not mean badly. You may think, well, I did that because I wanted to preserve safety here. I made a judgment on those people, and thus I'm trying to make myself justified by my decision saying it was safety for this or that, whatever it may be. But I want to share a story with you, and then you decide for yourself whether or not it's a valuable thing to have those snap judgments, or maybe we should take the information in and be aware of the situation, but not necessarily make that snap judgment without finding out what this situation's about, what this person's real motives are about. Okay, so here's the scoop. I have been in bands since high school, and yes, we do homestead, but I still love music. Obviously, I'm still creating music and doing stuff like that, but we are homesteaders. We live on 30 acres in the south side of the Northwoods in Wisconsin, and we are learning and growing in ways that I never thought we ever would do. And for example, we've got a tractor, we've got tilling area, we've got a garden, we've got guinea geese, we've got chickens, we've got beef cattle, we've got dairy cows, and all of this, we went from zero, no knowledge at all on how to do anything, even gardening or anything, only 8 years ago, living in the city, having no experience with any of this. So yeah, you could look at me and say, well, he doesn't really fit the mold. Well, and in my case, I don't fit the mold. However, maybe there's still something deeper there. So here's to the story. In the last church I served in as a director of worship and media, I had been there only about a year and a half-ish, I suppose, and I had been invited to a ladies group, a women's group, and these are older ladies, and they're just the sweetest things, and they invited me to come to their luncheon and talk, and I thought, okay, well, this is kind of unusual. This is not, it's not, I'm the weird, I had spiky yellow hair, and I've got the goatee, and I play the guitar, and it's definitely not the music they like. I'm up there, singing praise tunes, and they're they're tolerant, but that is not their first choice of music for worship. Let me just say it that way. So I get there, and I'm talking, and I'm conveying what we do, and they asked a bunch of questions. Hands are in the air. They seemed unusually interested in my background. And they, I would tell them, we had all these crazy get-ups, and we'd wear the silly, outfits that would not fit today, and we had crazy hair and jumping around. And I said, but the only thing is this, that the thing for us was that I don't care if we had to wear clown suits. I don't care if we had to wear, light blue leisure suits, whatever it would take to get those kids to listen and communicate and understand the reality of God. That's what our main goal was, get them to listen to us, and we don't really care what we have to look like. I'll play the fool if you'll listen to what I have to say. The music was all, loud, and it was rock, and we communicated to them, or I communicated to them rather, that for me, all of the shtick, all of it, was all basically to make them feel comfortable so that they would listen to the message. And I said, you know what? It's like, think of it like this, ladies. I said, think of it like a costume. You work at XYZ or place, they're going to ask you to wear, let's say it's a grocery store. They're gonna ask you to wear some kind of an apron that they'll provide, shoes and pants that they approve of, and that's the standard. If you don't agree to wearing that uniform, then you're not going to be able to work there. So for us, the whole get-up, the hair and all of it was all about getting them to listen. It was like a costume. And so when we conveyed that, why do I keep saying we? When I conveyed that to these ladies, it was really kind of a cool moment because when it kind of just finished, and they were happy and they were clapping. And then one lady reaches her hand up, and I could not believe it. But she just said, you know what? I know this is not a question, but I want you to know that I need your forgiveness. I want to ask for your forgiveness publicly in front of all these people. And I was like, what? I said, well, forgiveness for what? She said, I have been judging you ever since you got here, and even before you got here, when we found out you were coming. I thought you were going to be some mindless kid, punk, who just comes in and plays music that is not really good for the gospel and is not blah, 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 this. And I want you to know, I'm sorry. I completely judged you wrongly. You want to talk about getting hit by a freight train. It was like, wham! And I was just like, you know, I forgive you, and I'm just blown away at your willingness to just jump out there and say, you know what, God, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I did it. I was the one that said, I looked at you and I sized you up and you didn't fit the mold. And now for her to come and say, I was wrong and I'm sorry. That spoke volumes to me, spoke volumes to her, and volumes to the group. And I'm here to tell you that after that day, here's the thing. Church politics, let's just say it like this. If you've ever worked in a church, you're going to understand exactly what I'm saying. Church politics and working at a church is like this. Everybody likes sausage, but you don't really want to see how the sausage is made. Reverend Richard, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's a little private message. But there are, different groups in a church that pull for their way to be done, or why we want this done, or we want that done, or no, we want to get a pipe organ, or we want to get this. And all of those things pull at each other because everybody thinks that their idea is the way that the church should move forward. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't think that the way that they go about it is healthy. Anyway. So when all of this had been done and these ladies were like, oh my gosh, I did the same thing. Oh my gosh, I did the same thing. And you want to know what was the craziest thing after that? Our biggest advocates in that church were the elderly women. They would go to bat for us. Oh my gosh, they would get into the forefront of any argument that dealt with the service that I was leading. And they were humongously instrumental in making sure that the church's contemporary worship moved forward. They had a lot of sway and they had a lot of power because church politics, they'd been there for a long time, and they were practically part of the scenery, if that makes any sense to you. And so from that moment on, anything that happened, usually I didn't have to speak a word. They would be like, wham! You don't understand. He's got a mission, and you need to do what he's needing to get done so that we can get that mission done. And so, judging books by their cover. How many times have you walked by somebody on the street and they maybe smell bad and maybe asking for some money or ratty clothes? How many times do we make snap judgments about those people? I'm here to tell you, it's a struggle. It's a struggle for me because on one hand, you want to make sure all the logistics are taken care of. Like, I'm safe. I'm not going to be robbed. I'm not going to be misled. If I give this person some money, what are they going to do with it? But by the same token, we also want to make sure that we're treating them like humans, and that I look at them and I don't go, garbage. I look at them and go, you know what? I don't know what you're going through, but I really would like to help. How can I help? Or just the simple thing of, I can't tell you how many times that, when we're out and about different cities and you see somebody who looks destitute or this or that, sometimes just by talking to them and giving them 5 minutes of your time and saying, hey man, I'm with you. I don't know your situation, but I want you to know that I'm going to be praying for you. You may or may not want to give them $1 or $2. That's up to you. That's a whole different topic. And we don't need to comment on that. Don't give them money. Just don't. That's not part of this conversation. But the point is, most of the time, those people just want to be viewed as a human. They want to be heard. and they want to feel like they have some kind of connection to the normal world, because right now their world is not normal. Judging books by their cover, folks, that goes for everything. Where you work, go into the grocery store. Do we make those snap judgments? Because I think, and this is my opinion, you comment down below and have at it as long as you're going to be nice, and be nice to the other commenters too. Because here's my thought. My thought is this. I think we all need to take a deep breath and look at those people the way we want to be looked at. I think those people deserve the benefit of the doubt. They need to be understood the way we would like to be understood. I don't want somebody to go, hey, you got this weird goatee and you wear weird clothes, and so therefore there's no way you could be a good father, there's no way you could be a homesteader, there's no way you could, and then right? Yada, yada, yippee, skippy. I don't want people to look at me that way. I do look different, but I don't want them to make, I understand who you are. I want them to look at me the way I want to look at them. I want to look at them and say, you know what, I may not understand your situation, but we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's talk it out, or just give them a high five, or whatever it is, but don't treat them like you've already got them fixed in a box that they can't get out. I understand it, and I've managed you, and I've put you in this little box. It doesn't work, and it demeans everybody in the process. So anyway, books, do they need to be judged by their cover? I don't think so. Anyway, that's the video for today. Don't forget, Sunday nights, 7 p.m. Central, we are going to be going live. We have a great show planned for you guys this week. You don't want to miss out, and I would ask, humbly I would ask, share the link with other people. Tell them, hey, this is fun. It's a live event. Go on to YouTube, Big Family Homestead, 7 p.m. Central, and we have a giveaway planned that should be right up your alley. So hopefully we'll see you there. And that's it. I'm Brad with the Big Family Homestead. You guys have an amazing day.